Hi there, thanks for joining me today. I'm Tina at SpongeNStamp.com. So I have a really cute card to show you today, and I wanted to show you how I created it, but it's this sweet card right here using Over the Moon stamp set. This is a brand new stamp set in our new Creativity is Calling catalog. And it is so cute, and I have made several really cute cards with this. Every time I think I have a favorite, I have a new favorite. So isn't that the way it always goes? So I wanted to show you how I created this and how I made this little sentiment die right here. And let's go ahead and get started. So what I have is a piece of crumb cake that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to fold that, give it a nice crisp fold, and I'm going to put that aside. Then I'm going to bring in my Whisper White that is 5 by 3 3/4, and we're going to go ahead and stamp up our little cow. We're using this one right here. And I've already got it blocked. I'm using Memento ink because I'm going to be using my Stampin' Blend markers. So I'm just going to ink it up. And then I'm just going to kind of guess about where I want it to go. And without sticking my head underneath the phone, I think I'm going to come over to the left side and down just a little bit and just stamp straight down and straight up, and that looks pretty good to me. So I'm just going to let that dry just a tiny bit. Okay, it dries pretty quickly. So I'm going to be using my light old olive and my crumb cake combo, the dark and the light, and also my color lifter, and also the light flirty flamingo, I think is what this is. Yes, light flirty flamingo. And we're going to start by coloring the brown spots on the cow. And I'm going to start with my light crumb cake. And I'm probably not going to do the best job coloring because I know that sometimes coloring is therapeutic for the ones that are actually coloring. But if you're watching, it can tend to be a little boring. So I'm going to try to do this pretty quick. So I've got that, and we're going to do the tip of his tail or her tail and the top of her little hair pom-pom here. Okay, and the hoofs we're going to do 2 in brown. And I'm starting with my light because I'm going to try to do a little bit of shading. You don't have to. You could go straight with your dark and let it be. But I kind of wanted to do just a little bit of shading because it's so much fun to shade. Okay, and then I'm going to make this one back here dark and come a little bit here, and we're going to do around here. These little dots, they're probably going to be mostly the dark brown, and then just kind of swift that through there. And then I'm going to bring back in my light crumb cake and just kind of blend that out some. Just blending it out. I love these markers. They make me feel like I am a true artist, even though I'm really not. But I love them. They color so nicely. If you have not tried them, I really suggest and challenge you to give them a try because they are really nice markers. Okay, so there we go. So I've got those, are pretty well blended. Now I'm going to come in and I am going to do my hoofs, and I'm not going to blend these. I didn't have to do the light first. So I'm just going to do them in the dark crumb cake. Just like so. And I am pretty happy with the way that that looks. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with my light flirty flamingo, and I'm just going to dab a little pink inside the ears. And then I am just going to color his nose, his face, whatever this part of him, her. Keep calling him a him, but it's really a her. As you can tell, she has udders, so we're going to color that. I hope I'm in the camera. I'm really bad about that. Okay. Try to do this pretty quickly because this does not have to be perfect because the Flirty Flamingo is a lot darker than what I would like for it to be. So, but it's the only new shade of pink that I have. And we're going to make do. So I am just taking my color lifter and just kind of going around on it just to lighten it up. But I'm going to leave the center of her nostrils the darker pink. And just, I changed to my bullet tip because I can work a little faster with it. So, and it lightens up more and more as it dries. And I may come back and lighten up a little bit more. But for right now, I think I'm okay with that. And we need to do her little udders right here. So we're going to put some pink down on that. Flirty Flamingo. And then we're going to take the color lifter again and just kind of lift this up. Just to make them a little bit lighter. Okay, so I am pretty well okay. I think I might come in just a little bit more on this, just to lighten that up just a little tiny bit more. And I think I am pretty good with that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to color in our grass. So this is where the light old olive is going to come in, and I am just going to kind of sweep it around like it's kind of a hilly place. Just kind of come around, and then we're just going to take it and just go around and carefully go around her hoofs and her belly and down and around. Just kind of carefully do that, just like that. And then we're just going to fill this in. And it does not, like I said, does not have to be perfect. It doesn't matter if it's even or not even, because again, we're going to come back in with the color lifter to make it look more like grass. Just like that. Okay, so we're going to take our color lifter again, and I'm going to use the brush tip and just kind of go in where I want to just kind of lighten it up a little. Okay, and it will lighten up more and more and more, and then we're going to let that sit. Why that sits? Because I want that alcohol to dry really well before we start stamping. I am going to bring in, now I am using another image from another stamp set, but because our stamp sets coordinate so well with each other, and our dies and our punches, these clouds in the Above the Clouds stamp set really go nicely with this card. And I want to bring that back in, and I am using Pool Party, and I'm just going to stamp them randomly. I don't know why. I always have such a hard time saying that, and I probably should have stamped them off, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to go ahead and leave them just like that. So we're going to put some more right there, and then we're going to come around right there, and we're going to put two more over here, like right about there, just like so. So there we go. So now we have our clouds on there. And if they're too dark for you, just stamp them off and then they'll be a shade lighter, which is what I did in this card. I did stamp it off. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our mossy meadow and our old olive and our little grass image from Over the Moon, which is this image right here. And I am going to stamp some in the mossy meadow, just around and about, no particular way, just because I wanted some dark and some light. So I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. So I'm going to bring in my Simply Chamois, which if you do not have one of these, oh my goodness, these are the best. So now my stamp is clean. So I am going to bring in our old olive. Make sure I am stamping with the right one. And we are just going to stamp down with the old olive. Just around and about. And I am pretty okay with the way that that looks. So there we go. Isn't this cute? And it's so easy to do. Okay, so now let me put this aside and let's bring in our stitch nested label dies. This is the size that I used. But let me tell you about these dies. These dies come in a bundle. You can get them as a bundle with the Bird Ballad Suite. So if you purchase the Free as a Bird stamp set, and you can get these along with it as a bundle and save 10%. And these labels are amazing because you can use them in any cards. It doesn't have to be just the Bird Ballad Suite. Just like I use the Above the Clouds, I use the clouds for a whole different stamp set. So I used this die, and I haven't numbered them yet to tell you which one it is, but this is the largest one, I think. No, I did not use the largest one. I am so sorry. That's for the next card that's coming. Okay, I used the second to the largest one, and I just took a piece of crumb cake, which I did not bring over, but anyway, so we'll put these two together as if it was one piece. I'll just use this because we're not going to really run it through. I'm just going to show you. So I just centered it on my piece of cardstock, and I used a piece of cardstock that was going to be large enough to use as a layer for another card so that I didn't waste any paper. So I just kind of centered that on there, and I made my sandwich with my magnetic plate platform, my cutting plate. Sorry, I have fumble fingers. Okay, so, and then I just kind of centered that through there, put my cutting plate, another cutting plate on top, and ran it through my Big Shot. And then it gave me this. And then what I did was I took, in these dies, there's this little piece right here that I've hear a lot of people saying, what do you do with this? Well, what I did was I laid it right across where I wanted it to go, and I used my washi tape to hold it in place because sometimes they still shift a little on even with the magnetic plate, and I didn't want it to shift, so I lined it up right where I wanted it to go, put my little washi tape down, cranked it, made my sandwich and cranked it through. Then I took it over to my trimmer and I trimmed off what I wanted. So we're not going to throw this piece away because Thursday I will have another video using this piece. But this is the piece that we want for our card today. So I am going to be using the image, the sentiment, "You're utterly fantastic." And I'm going to use Early Espresso. And because I don't want to get into the camera, I'm hoping to be able to stamp this straight. Don't know if I'm going to or not, because normally I have to get right on top of it to see if it's straight or not. or even, but I am going to try my very best here, and I think it is crooked a little bit, but it will be okay. So now we have our pieces to put our card together. So now we're just going to assemble. So I have my early espresso layer that is, I wrote the measurements down, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And I am going to use my favorite glue, which is, oh, this one hasn't been opened yet. My Mono Tombow multi-purpose glue. It is absolutely my favorite. I know I tell you guys in just about every one of my videos, but I love this glue. And I'm going to just center that on the front of this card the best that I can. Whoops. Just like that. I'm pretty good with that. I think I like that. It's okay. All right. Then we're going to layer this one on top of there. So, and I know that I use probably a lot more glue than I need, but I like to really have that wiggle room. Okay. So just like that. All right, so we have one more piece to glue down, and that is our stitched little half pocket, I guess is what this is. And I'm just going to line it up right up even with the side corner top of the card, just like that. And I could come up just a little bit more. Whoops. There we go. There we go. So one last thing, and that's we're going to put an embellishment on there. And I need, let's see, I'll just use my scissors here. I'm going to use these gold faceted gems. I absolutely love these. I think I'll just use my finger. I need my pick tool, but I didn't bring it over. So we are going to make this work. And I'm just going to stick it right there. And there you go. Isn't that adorable and so easy? And you just can use multiple things to make it so super cute. Well, thanks so much for joining me today, and make sure that you watch for Thursday when I'll be doing another card using the other piece of our stitched shape. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click that little bell icon so that you don't miss any future videos. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will have the measurements and a shopping list with links for everything that I used in this card. Again, you guys, thank you so much. Have a blessed day.